Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name's Mike Piworsky, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready? Oh.
Throw Punch Thursday, bitch.
In your face.
In your face. Well, more in the throat.
In your throat.
Like a punch. I love the way that Bernie Backyard is like, I gotta punch him in the throat.
I miss Bernie.
I do. He was hilarious. He I don't know. Well, I take that back. There was a period of time where you probably could not have done his comedy and gotten away with it, but he still would have done it.
Yeah.
Luckily, that time I believe is short-lived. I believe we're back to now talking about punching kids in the throat. Being funny.
Yeah. I think it's back. It's back.
Once again, talking about it, not doing it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Doing it is still bad.
Yeah.
Unless they deserve it.
Well, it's okay with OPKs.
There you go. See, sometimes, a throat punch is good discipline.
I mean, don't make it any more than it is. Sometimes a throat punch is just a throat punch.
Sometimes a throat punch is just a throat punch.
There's nothing more to it than that.
Sometimes it's a throat punch in love.
Yeah, it's what it really is. It's a message.
It definitely sends a message.
Yeah, and that message is no, stop it.
Which, by the way, is not. It's oftentimes not a bad message to send. Sometimes a very necessary message. Although I will say this, there are many more adults that I would like to throat punch.
I told you if I had one superpower, it's all I could have. It would be the ability to punch people through the internet. So
I know this is going to take a little. So I had a situation today at the School Board Association where basically this guy was talking about these evangelicals who are trying to take over school boards, and they're taking over school boards and firing superintendents, right? And I made it a point before I asked a question of the panelists, this guy was the moderator. I said, I just want you to know that as an evangelical Christian, I feel very othered by your comments.
Right.
And am thus very offended. And he's like, well, do not deny my lived experience. And then I went on and asked the question. Yeah. Needless to say, I offended some folks, but I'm like, screw you.
And the question you ask him is, sir, do you still beat your wife?
There you go. Do you still beat your wife?
Let's see him get out of that one.
You probably would say yes.
Well, anyway. She was playing Christmas music in October. It's
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Especially if it's Mariah Carey, then you definitely get it.
Yeah, I don't care if you play that one when Jesus is being born on the 25th. That music's going down.
Gotta love Mariah Carey, just not her music.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with her as long as she's not singing, playing her music. Yeah.
Anyway, how is your holiday season going thus far?
It's a good day. Today's a good day. I don't know if you knew this or not. It's actually the birthday of somebody very special in my life. She's been with me for a very long time. Today is Marissa Tomei's birthday. Mona Lisa Vito, 61 years old.
Okay. I did not know this. I thought you were going to say your bartender.
Oh, no. No, bartenders come and go. Yeah.
Well, here's to Vinny's cousin Vinny. Cousin Vinny's woman. The thing I like most about this time of year is eggnog.
You've known my position on eggnog. I don't know why the Nog Elves only work, 1 or 2 months a year. What are they? What are they doing in July? Why can't I get eggnog in July? Why do I have to go to powdered eggnog or canned eggnog in July? It should be available fresh all
Yes.
year long.
With alcohol already in it.
I like to put my own alcohol in it because a lot of times they put cheap, elf eggnog in there, eggnog alcohol. So
My only problem with doing my own eggnog is that I oftentimes there's a sweet spot where you can definitely taste the alcohol, but it's still very eggnoggy. And sometimes I get a little heavy with the alcohol, a little heavy handed.
I'm all right with that. That's why I like it. When I make it,
It's not bad. It's just the flavor isn't just right. So,
well, I think that's because when they make the eggnog with the alcohol in it, they're using the best, convenience store bourbon you can find to put in that eggnog, as opposed to you and I putting in quality stuff,
There you go. There you go. Although I do recognize that when it comes to bourbons, there are drinking bourbons and then there are mixing bourbons.
Oh yeah, like if you're making bourbon chicken, yeah, I could go with a good department store bourbon at that point, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, well, now that we've regaled ourselves of our alcoholism, let's get into the program. I'm sorry, neither of us are alcoholics because we don't go to any of those damn meetings.
They go to meetings, yeah.
They go to meetings.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a drunk either because I'm rarely drunk.
It's just more of an even keel.
I consider myself to be spiritual because I'm partaking of spirits.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Craig. If alcohol is so bad for me, how come it keeps my hands from shaking?
The questions of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
The many, many significant questions of life. There you go. Well, let's go ahead and get into the program. And you know how we always start it, with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Get on over there. These guys got custom AR barrels. They got pistol length rifle, any caliber you desire for your next AR build or rebarrel your current AR platform. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to hogholsters.com. That's HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. And let me point this out while I'm talking about Hog Holsters. Custom made, every holster to order, hand fit, around the molds, nothing from China, all American made. So take that, put that in the bank with you. If you want the best in field gear, tactical web gear, law enforcement, security, fire, EMS, get on over to uscombatgear.com. They've got everything you desire. Just get your agency together, get your group together, place an order, and you can get everything but the gun at uscombatgear.com.
Folks, once again, our sponsors are really great. They are Americans who love America. They are patriots, every single one of them. And they support your fundamental right to keep and bear arms. So as they support you and support your rights, support them. If you do nothing else, just visit their websites. It's real simple. Just follow the links in the description of this program. But I'll tell you what, I'll bet you when you go there, you're going to see some stuff that you're going to want. You're going to spend some money with them. And when you do, make sure you let them know it's the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. By the way, also want to encourage you, if you're watching the show live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, we would love for you guys to go ahead and comment. We are taking your comments right here. We want to hear what you got to say, what you think about the program, whatever it is, let us know. In fact, we don't care if you agree with us. You can disagree with us. That's fine. We're okay with that because disagreeing can be entertaining because, well, it gives us the opportunity to mock you.
Oh, wow. Is that a mockingbird?
Man, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
Yeah. Gives us a chance to mock you.
Knocking is going to be, we're going to knock you. It's a mockingbird, and it's the official bird of the state of Florida.
There you go. So therefore, it's indigenous to this program.
It means it's a conservative bird, is what it is.
It is a conservative bird.
Yeah.
So mocking someone is a conservative trait.
Only if you're mocking a liberal. Yeah.
Only if you're mocking a liberal. Got it.
Listen, that
Okay.
guy was carrying a backpack with flowers on it. Hey, he's a liberal, and the bird recognized that.
Yeah, he recognized that. was not a hard observation to make.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit more about observations. Mike, it is amazing how fast, based on this, all you had to do was have the Washington Post come out and say that something happened, say that Pete Hegseth ordered the murder of two innocent narco terrorist drug not lords, but drug traffickers, blew up the boat after they were already knocked out of the boat, blew them up while they were in the water. Well, it turns out, according to, of all sources, ABC News, that, that might not be the whole story.
And tonight, new information. According to a source familiar with the incident, the two survivors climbed back onto the boat after the initial strike. They were believed to be potentially in communication with others and salvaging some of the drugs. Because of that, it was determined they were still in the fight and valid targets. A JAG officer was also giving legal advice. So again, David, that video will be key, and Admiral Bradley will be on the Hill tomorrow behind closed doors.
Yeah. Here's what's funny though. Nobody on the left is going to hear that, right?
Correct.
Absolutely nobody
they're
on the
not gonna
left.
say anything.
All they hear is he blew up some innocent people, but now we hear they climbed back into the boat.
Yeah.
They were on the horn. They were communicating with folks to come pick. They were scooping up the drugs so that they could do them themselves. No, so that they could bring them into the United States. I'll say it. I said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it multiple times. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the 2010s version of FAFO, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Craig, listen, we said it last week on here.
Yeah.
Listen, you got blown from the boat. The best place for you is in the water. Once you get back into the boat, because guess what? The boat is the weapon. The boat, it's full of the drugs.
Mhm.
That's where everything is. That's where listen, we didn't realize there were communications equipment. They were doing that, but listen, they got back on the gun is basically what happened. And
well, not only that, they attempted to reload the gun with the drugs, put the drugs back in the boat. I'm like,
yep.
But the thing that gets me with this though is that you see how quick no one's going to hold these Democrats accountable for the stuff that they've been saying, because you have had folks who came out and were like, well, we really need to investigate this and see what happens, right? But then right behind that, they're like, yeah, you don't just shoot innocent people. That's a war crime. And it's like they forgot about, hey, let's investigate. And they just jumped to an assumption of what had happened.
Yeah.
Because, Orange Man bad.
I'm sure this administration will find a way to pay back those individuals that laid these charges against Secretary Hegseth. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott over at uscombatgear.com sent us a message. He said, we appreciate you standing up for the Constitution, traditional conservative values, and 2A advocacy. That's Scott over at uscombatgear.com. And he also made a point to send me their I guess a revised version of their logo. So we got to make sure we will get that in there for you, Scott. Make sure that as we are promoting you guys, that we have the right logo for you.
So let me do this again then real quick, just for a quick moment, because listen, I say their little advertising verbiage here 1,000 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the one day Scott's listening to us live, I said it wrong. So I'm going to redo it right now. I'm going to say, get on over to uscombatgear.com. That's uscombatgear.com. You can get military gear, law enforcement gear, supply or security, fire, EMS, personal gear, paintball, Coast Guard, whatever you want. They got every gear in the world. You want to be in the Girl Scouts? They got Girl Scout gear. I'm sure they got it all. If there's Girl Scout tactical gear, they got Girl Scout tactical gear, because they got every kind of tactical gear there is at uscombatgear.com. Get your group together, get your agency together. Place an order at uscombatgear.com where you can get everything except the gun. There we go. I did it right for
Bam.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott, he normally nails it, but I think it was because you were listening today.
Yeah, I was nervous. He was watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or listening. Yeah.
Watching. Well, actually, if he's on Facebook, so he was probably watching.
Okay.
It's our later audience, the 4:00 audience that probably gets it via Apple Podcast, which, by the way, is our largest audience. Our largest audience is Apple Podcast.
That's because people with Apple products are smarter.
Yes, they are. Or yes, we are.
Yeah. Don't be
I
coming
know
at me
I-
with that green bubble nonsense, you know?
I fought Apple because, see, back in the day, Apple was like, unless you were a graphic designer or doing music or something like that, it was not good for you.
I believe the word you're looking for is nerd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That is the word I was looking for. But anyway, so now, but once I finally got used to it, I'm like, wait a minute, you mean all my stuff can talk to each other and it all communicates and it all works together?
You might have seen me glancing down a couple moments here. I was like, oh, now that I'm at the computer, I want to put something on my phone. So I did it in the background. So I know when I'm done, it's going to be on my phone. I wanted something for my computer on my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But anyway, back to ABC News.
AB.
You're not going to, what's interesting is you're not going to see them saying, well, maybe we should retract all of that stuff we've been saying about, war crimes.
They will retract it. It'll be on page 87 and it'll be a type 6 font. And it'll be at the bottom. It'll say, whoops, my bad.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like, yeah, right. Anyway, I just, every single time, see, and here's what's funny. What I appreciate about how the White House handles some of this stuff, the accusations come out and they literally just let the left and they let the media they give them enough rope. They just let them just keep pulling on that rope till they have enough to hang themselves. And then they,
Yeah. Here's my impersonation of how it works, Greg. All right. The news comes out, shocking news, and the left is going, they're going to die, they're going down, we're impeaching, we're getting them out of office, there's nothing that can stop them now. And then the information comes out, and they go, son of a bitch! Every time this guy,
it's like
Teflon's on.
It's like he's Lucy and they are Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And
Trump
impeachment is the football.
Yeah, Trump's sitting up there doing this. Oh, give him some more food. Give him a little bit more. Just go ahead. Give him a little more. Oh, don't forget to point this out.
Well, and what's interesting is they noted there was a JAG officer that literally was advising them. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Yep.
You're good. Blow them up.
I explained the rules of engagement to you last week.
You did.
And it just took a matter of time for that word to come out. I mean, it was everything we said it was going to be, Well, you got back on the boat. You crawled back into the weapon. Okay. All right.
Right. Well, they did a little bit more than just crawl back into the weapon. Yeah. They literally went and just were fishing the drugs out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they say they got communications, 100% guarantee that there's an audio tape of these guys on Spanish from an AWACS observer or one of the MI birds that were in the air recording and listening to the conversation. Sir, they're calling in reinforcements now. They're giving them where to pick them up, and they're telling them to bring. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, take them out. Yeah,
yeah. Now, what they could have done was waited for the reinforcements to show up, then kablooey altogether.
Or they probably went to the other place and got them too.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. Yeah. But anyway, it's just. It is one of those things where it's like, you would think the left would learn. And what's neat, what I at least will say is this. So ABC News is talking about this. So guess what? People are going to see it to a degree, hopefully. If they're not gonna just see it on ABC News, trust me, every conservative I know is going to be sharing that little segment of a video. It's already all over Twitter, it's all over Facebook, it's all over TikTok and Instagram, where it's being revealed, shall we say.
Yeah. I don't know if you have the clip where you saw it, the one where on Fox News, Jesse Waters did the reaction to it. And it was exactly like it was like, there you go. That's it.
Exactly. No, I did see that one. Because he's just like, hey, but once again, it's how do I want to put this? It's now at a point where when this stuff comes out, the first thing you have to do is stop and wait. Don't overreact.
Yep.
Just wait. Because I'll admit, it didn't look good. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, they know the media's gonna come after them.
Yeah.
They know the Democrats are gonna come after them. They're not that dumb. I mean, let's just be real. They're not that dumb.
Yeah.
There's more to it. And as we all know, as is almost always the case, there is always, always, always more to it. And Democrats don't care, though, because as is being reported by our friends over at Breitbart News, the Democrats are already seeking to impeach Hegseth for war crimes. This is being reported by the folks over at Breitbart. It says Representative Shri Thanadar, a Democrat from Michigan, announced Wednesday that he plans to introduce articles of impeachment against Defense Secretary Hegseth, referencing a resurfaced 2016 remark on war crimes as questions mount over U.S. military strike that killed survivors of a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean. In a post on X on Wednesday, Representative Thanadar, God, why does that sound like a warlord from a Star Wars movie?
Yeah, I was thinking it's a Marvel guy or something like that.
Yes,
Marvel.
yes,
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah.
or Star. Okay, anyway, shared a report from the Hill highlighting 2016 remarks by now Defense Secretary Hegseth, in which Hegseth observed, quote, I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. Thanadar added his own comment, I agree. This is why I'll be introducing articles of impeachment against Secretary Hegseth. The 2016 video, first reported by CNN and later detailed by The Hill, features Hegseth speaking at an event hosted by Liberty Forum of Silicon Valley. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that, Hegseth said at the time, referring to the military's obligation to refuse unlawful orders. Here, there's a standard and there's an ethos, he added, describing the moral framework guiding the U.S. Armed Forces. So, in other words, what he's saying is, well, because this guy is so wrong and is a war crime, that he ought to be impeached. But here's the thing. We now know it wasn't a war crime.
No. So I think we should take Thandar the Barbarian here and make him stand trial. We should charge him for the time he's wasted. You know, in the criminal justice world, Craig, if you lose your court case, if it's proven you did wrong criminally, or you filed a complaint falsely, and now that becomes the crime that you filed a false complaint, there's something called the compensation. So the court could go after you to reimburse the time you wasted on the criminal side. You know, on the civil side, you know, it's up to the judge. On the criminal side, you get the compensation. I think we should get this guy and make him pay for all the time he's wasted us, for all the time that the rest of Congress and the rest of government has had to say, oh, we got to take a look at this now, but not now.
Well, you know what's funny, though, about this, and when you think about this, because, see, first of all, it's not just what they're questioning, by the way, is not just the idea of whether or not, you know, him shooting the second strike was bad, but they're questioning the entire policy of you know, shooting these drug boats out of the water, going directly to these countries and actually taking the fight to them where they are.
Yep.
But you do know that this idea did not originate with Donald Trump, right?
Wait, breaking news. Go ahead, Craig. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another dude, very, very right-wing wacko, that would eventually one day lead this nation. And well, let's just say he introduced it a generation ago.
Every president for the past 2 decades, Democrat and Republican alike, has declared war on drugs. And each of them has lost that war and lost it miserably. They lost because they attempted to deal with only part of the drug problem. They lost because their initiatives were pulled apart by bureaucratic squabbling among their advisors. They lost because they always did too little and they did it too late. We don't oppose the president's plan. All we want to do is strengthen it. We don't doubt his resolve. All we want to do is stiffen it. The trouble is that the president's proposals are not big enough to deal with the problem. We think we should do more to stem the flow of drugs across our borders, and we think we should go one step further. Let's go after the drug lords where they live, with an international strike force. There must be no safe haven for these narco-terrorists, and they must know it. We have to lock up the dealers for a long, long time, and we have to attack the source from which the drugs come. And we have to do that not a piece at a time, but all at once. And we have to do it now. And there's not any reason why we can't do that. We have the power, we have the money, and we have the knowledge.
That
Did
guy
you find
looks
it
familiar,
eerily-
doesn't he?
Yeah. Did you
I
find
didn't
it eerily-
recognize him without poop in his pants.
True. Did you find it eerily creepy the way he said he wanted to stiffen it?
I did. I think he was thinking about his niece.
Yeah. Oh, geez, I wasn't thinking about that. You're dude, it's sick.
Well,
Gross.
look, I didn't shower with her. He did.
You showered with him?
I did not shower with her. He did.
Oh, with her. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not one of the little black kids at the pool rubbing the hair on his legs, as he claimed.
On corn cob, whatever his name is.
Corn Pop.
Corn Pop.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Yeah. Corn cob. Yeah.
We used to bang the razors on the. I'm like, oh my God, this guy. I mean, here's the thing. It's one thing to tell the old man stories, the grandpa stories. Not when you're president. When you're president, don't tell the grandpa stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dog-faced pony soldier.
Dog-faced pony soldier. Well, anyway, once again, it's interesting though to see that Democrats are they've got mud on their face again. And how are they going to now back out? All of a sudden now, what you're going to see is they're all going to get real quiet because eventually, when the video is released, what you're going to see is because keep in mind they haven't released the video yet, but they're going to show the video of them climbing into the boat. Fishing the stuff out.
So, like half the Democrats are not going to even know that the new evidence came out, right? So they're just going to keep crying and complaining. Then you're going to get about a quarter of them, Craig, that are just going to forget it. They're going to back away and say, "No, I had nothing to do with that." And then the other quarter are going to come out and say, "We think that new evidence is fake, and we're going to have hearings to prove." Yeah, or whatever. It's just
Well, it reminds me. First of all, they're going to be in complete and utter denial. I'll give you an example. I literally was in a debate with someone today who was trying to say that we didn't know that kids weren't transmitting COVID back in the summer of 2020. And I'm like, there literally was data coming from all of the places where they either stayed open or they closed and then reopened. And it showed that we didn't have any of that data. I'm like, yeah, we did. We literally read it. Reports from places like Florida and from other countries. It was right there. It was available for everyone to see. The only people who refused to see it were the Democrats. Or the Democrats who would eventually become Republicans because they realized the Democrats were lying. They saw it. Those Democrats saw it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just there is a level of it's bad because it's not just that they are ignorant, it's that they are willfully ignorant. That the truth is right there. The facts and the information is right there, and they absolutely positively refuse to see it. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it, but they are who they are. And that, by the way, brings me to another interesting little point here. You know, we all know, or at least anyone who's paying any attention knows that the United Nations, well, let's just say they're in bed with terrorists. They're in bed with the jihadists. They're in bed with everybody who hates America and who hates Israel. We kind of now know this. Well, now, thanks to some internal documents, when I say internal documents, I mean these are some Hamas internal documents. It has now been confirmed that, yeah, a number of these UN aid groups, yeah, they're directly tied to terrorist organizations like Hamas. It says here, Hamas placed its allies into senior NGO positions, ensuring nonprofits can be exploited for security purposes. Let's read this here real quick. This is from the folks over at the Washington Free Beacon. It says here, Hamas operatives infiltrated dozens of UN-affiliated aid groups in Gaza between 2018 and 2022, embedding personnel into senior positions to direct humanitarian operations on the ground and ensure the groups served Hamas's interests. Internal security documents uncovered by Israeli forces and reviewed by the Washington Free Beacon show. The documents, authored by Hamas's internal security apparatus, detail for the first time how the terror group systematically co-opted nonprofits affiliated with the United Nations and the governments of multiple Western countries, including the United States. They reveal how Hamas placed its allies into key positions throughout these nonprofits, ensuring they, quote, can be exploited for security purposes in order to infiltrate foreign associations, their foreign senior personnel, and their movements, according to a December 2022 document. Among the was it Trench? I don't even know what Trench, and the NGO Monitor Watchdog Group published on Wednesday. Now, Mike, when you hear people talk about, for example, when you talk about the aid that was going in, and we talk about, well, how could it possibly have gotten stolen by Hamas? This is how it got stolen by Hamas, because their people on the inside knew when it was coming in. They knew exactly what was coming in. They knew exactly what to steal and when to steal it. On top of it, when you hear all of the reporting from these NGOs talking about Israeli atrocities, well, wait a minute. We now know that those people doing the reporting were in the pockets of Hamas. Now, maybe it's just me, but I kind of think that messes up a little bit of their credibility.
Yeah, right. And listen, and we can also again thank Doge, right, for showing us where these NGOs were getting their money from.
Yep.
And it was all about getting the money, and setting up fake CEOs and workers in order to push that money back to them. And it's all relatives or close friends that are giving those kickbacks. This was all about the money, Craig, and they don't care. Listen, here you go. They don't care if they're selling to the left or they're selling to the right, as long as they can make that money. It's about we don't care who we're giving it to. If the people that are starving or the people that are keeping the money from the food from the starving people, we're going to steal that information.
But these resources that were coming in, do you think those terror tunnels just appeared out of nowhere? Somebody paid to have those things dug out and built. Somebody's paying to create these missiles and missile launchers, and now we're finding out it was us inadvertently.
Yeah. We may have funded it, but it was funded. It was funded. Through ill means.
Exactly, and that's the reason why, folks. If you're wondering why USAID has gotten the boot.
Yep.
And that's why I still believe, I'm still to this day believe we need to get out of the UN. The UN is a complete and utter waste of time. It is any place where Russia and China have a place on the Security Council? Would they have anything to say when it comes to human rights? Nah, y'all are done. Y'all are done.
Yeah.
You have no credibility.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Not saying, just saying. All right, let's
That's it.
talk a little bit about credibility, shall we? Let's talk about California and their vaccine mandate, in particular, the vaccine mandate for kids. Well, there is a report now out of the state of California, or actually, it's not out of the state of California, it's about the state of California, and that has to do with our vaccine mandate. And it turns out, according to the FDA, they've admitted that children died from COVID shots that California mandated. Excuse me, on November 29, 2025, a leaked internal FDA memo written by Vinay Prasad, the new director of the FDA's Center for Biologics, Evolution, and Research, confirmed that many parents had warned and what many parents have warned and what California officials aggressively denied. American children died because of the COVID vaccines. The memo summarizes an FDA review of 96 pediatric deaths reported between 2021 and 2024. Cases drawn from VAERS and cross-checked against records, timelines, hospitalization notes, and autopsies where available. After this review, analysts concluded that no fewer than 10 children likely died because of the vaccine. In regulatory terms, that is a finding of causation, not correlation, and it's seismic. Prasad, a Bay Area liberal who spent a decade at UCSF and initially supported mRNA vaccination for high-risk adults, is precisely the kind of mainstream physician California officials once told the public to trust. Yet, he wrote explicitly, this is the first time the U.S. FDA will acknowledge that COVID-19 vaccines have killed American children. California, the only state to pursue statewide K-12 COVID vaccine mandate, cannot escape what this acknowledgement means. And when people called it experimental, everyone was like, "Oh, well, you're crazy. It's been tested." Now, Mike,
It's a horse dewormer. Yeah, that's
well, yeah, that's the ivermectin. That's a whole
I know,
different
I
thing.
know.
But the thing is, and for me, this was a lot of this was a learning lesson, because I remember at the time, I was like, well, okay, I'm assuming that they say they've tested it, that they're not just going to out and outright lie. And they did. They literally, members of the federal government, right? The people, the science and medical community who we're supposed to trust, who to date we're supposed to be trusting, just flat out and outright lied. Just lied.
Well, Craig, as the great Carlton once said, you cannot make an assumption, because if you do, you look like an ass and the ump will shun you. So, listen, it says there that California can't get away from this, right? That they're going to have to stand and face this. No, they've already ignored it. There'll be nothing from this. This won't even be a mention.
No, it won't. And it's
politics.
And once again, the debate that I was having with this guy today, I'm like, there's a bunch of stuff that people were saying, right?
Yeah.
And nobody was being unrealistic. Look, if you are in a high risk group, if you are morbidly obese, and or you happen to be a senior citizen with autoimmune issues, you know what? Maybe it does make sense for you. But for young people who are not a vector, who are almost no young people. I mean, according to this, right? More kids died from the vaccine than died from COVID in the state of California. Way more. That's what's crazy about this. They're like no fewer than 10. In other words, there's some that are not conclusive, meaning it was hinky enough for them to investigate it, but not enough to prove that it was the shot.
They don't care. Craig, listen, Uncle Creepy Hands Cuomo was proved that he caused and led to the death of hundreds and hundreds of elderly people.
Yep.
And putting them in the basically the COVID container there and isolating them so they could all die together. If that's not going to be touched, 10 kids are not going to be touched in California. The thing you need to remember in California, as Newsom makes his run for president, is one image. There's one image all I need of him, Craig, and it's not even of him. It's of his SWAT teams, his COVID SWAT teams arresting people on the beach. That's all I need to know about him.
Oh my! I remember them. I remember watching the sheriff's department waiting on shore as the one guy in his kayak was out in the water.
Yeah.
Infecting no one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it could have jumped a fish. Could have made the fish jump.
And now, Mike, the thing that gets me, Mike, is now they're at that point where they're like, well, we don't know what we didn't know. And I'm like, no, we knew. We knew. I'll put it to you this way. If nobody knew, how is it that you and I were able to go on here on the internet and broadcast reports and studies that we had that were saying it?
And then we're banned for it when we said it.
And then we got banned for it, for saying stuff that, quote unquote, nobody knew. No, we knew. And I'm not saying I discovered it.
Yeah.
Someone else discovered this stuff.
Yeah.
All we were doing was reporting on what someone else discovered. So you can't say nobody knew. You can't say we didn't know. You didn't want to know.
It did not go along with their policy of control.
Yes, it did not go along with their policy of control. And that's really, by the way, what it was all about. Because, see, they had already tried things like, well, we're going to declare gun violence an epidemic, right? It's a health epidemic, right? Emergency. It's a health emergency. Well, this time they had something that they could actually label as a health emergency. And they decided to see how far they could push it. And they pushed it so far and they got away with so much, they then decided, hey, we can call racism a health emergency. We can call anything we want to do where we don't want anybody to debate it, where we don't want anybody to talk about it. We'll call it a health emergency. Transphobia is a health emergency. Islamophobia is a health emergency. And once I declare it a public emergency, there's no debate. I just do whatever the heck I want.
Yeah. Well, Craig, I would like to thank the left for the COVID nonsense, for the COVID lies, because here's what happened. January 20th, President Trump came out, did his State of the Union address. And remember, this country was on top of the world. We were in the midst of the best presidency, the midst of the economic, not even recovery. We were economically, we were at the top, right? Everybody had money in their pocket. We were going, everything was wonderful and it was great. And we had a great year to look forward to. And then they brought their COVID out and it took down a presidency. Now there's all the other stuff with the voting issues, right? But it helped to take down a presidency. So I want to thank